Hey, I want to ask you something before we start. Have you ever been with someone who genuinely cared about you? Someone who was consistent, kind, and actually showed up, and instead of feeling safe, you felt uncomfortable? Like something was off, like it was too easy, like you were just waiting for them to show their real side. This video is about that feeling, and by the end of it, you're going to understand something about yourself that most people spend years trying to figure out. Someone loves you. They show up for you. They're consistent. They don't play games. And instead of feeling happy, you feel anxious, uncomfortable, like something is wrong. And you can't explain why, because on paper everything is fine. But something in you just can't let it in. Today, I want to talk about something that almost nobody talks about openly. Why some people genuinely struggle to accept love, even when it's right in front of them. Not because they don't want it, not because they're cold or broken, but because of something their brain learned a long time ago about what love is supposed to feel like. And once you understand that, everything starts to make sense. The thing about not being able to accept love is that it rarely feels like a problem from the inside. From the inside, it feels like being realistic, like you're just being careful, just protecting yourself, just not getting your hopes up too fast. You tell yourself that you don't want to rush things, that you need time, that you're just being smart about it. But what's actually happening is that every time someone gets close, every time someone shows you real, consistent care, something in you pulls back. And it's not a choice. It happens automatically, almost before you can think about it. And the people who care about you the most are often the ones you push away the hardest. And to understand why, we need to go back to where it all started. Your brain's understanding of love was built long before you were old enough to think about it consciously. If the love you received growing up was inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, sometimes there and sometimes not, your brain built a model of what love looks like, and that model included uncertainty. If love came with conditions, if you had to earn it, perform for it, or be a certain way to receive it, your brain learned that love is something you work for, not something you simply have. And if the people who were supposed to love you also hurt you, your brain connected love with pain in a very deep way. So now, when someone shows up with love that doesn't come with those conditions, love that's just steady and consistent and there, your brain doesn't recognize it. It doesn't feel like love. It feels like something unfamiliar. And unfamiliar feels wrong. And this is what that looks like in real life. And you might recognize yourself in this. Someone treats you well, and your immediate reaction is to look for what they want from you, because in your experience, people don't just treat you well for nothing. Someone tells you they love you, and instead of feeling happy, you feel a kind of pressure, like now you have to maintain that, like you'll eventually disappoint them. Someone is consistently kind to you, and instead of relaxing into it, you start testing it, pulling back to see if they'll still be there, creating small conflicts to see how they react, waiting for the moment they show their real face. And when things are going really well, when someone is genuinely good to you, and there's no drama, no uncertainty, no push and pull, it feels almost boring, like something is missing, because what's missing is the anxiety you learn to associate with love. And here's where it gets really important, because this next part explains something most people never connect. When you've been hurt by the people who were supposed to love you, whether that's a parent, a partner, or someone you trusted deeply, your brain does something very logical. It starts treating love as a risk. Not consciously, not as a decision, but as an automatic response. Because in your experience, letting someone in led to pain. Being vulnerable led to disappointment. Trusting someone led to being let down. So now your brain has a rule. The closer someone gets, the more dangerous they are. And it tries to protect you by keeping people at a distance, by finding reasons not to trust them, by pulling away when things get too close, by making sure you never fully let anyone in. It's not sabotage, it's protection. The problem is that the protection is keeping out exactly what you need most. And this creates a cycle that can go on for years without you realizing it. The cycle goes like this. Someone shows genuine interest in you, and your brain gets uncomfortable, so you pull back or test them or create distance. They either leave, which confirms your belief that people don't stay, or they try harder to get close, which makes your brain even more suspicious, because why would someone work this hard unless they wanted something? Either way, real intimacy never happens, and you end up in one of two places, either alone and wondering why nobody ever stays, or in relationships that feel familiar but never truly safe. And the painful irony is that the love you're most afraid of, steady, consistent, unconditional love, is exactly the love that could heal the part of you that's afraid of it. So why is it so hard to just let yourself receive it? You might be thinking, okay, I understand this now, so why can't I just decide to let love in? And the honest answer is that understanding something in your mind and feeling safe enough to live it are two completely different things. Your nervous system learned these patterns through years of experience, and it doesn't update just because you read something or had a realization. Every time you try to let someone in, your nervous system reads it as a threat and pulls you back. Not because you're choosing that, but because that's the pattern it knows. And fighting that pattern by forcing yourself to trust people doesn't work either, because forced trust isn't real trust. Real change happens slowly, through repeated experiences of safety, through moments where you let someone in a little, and they don't hurt you, and then a little more, and they still don't hurt you. And this brings us to the part most people are waiting for: what you can actually do. You don't fix this overnight, and you don't fix it by deciding to be more open or trying harder to trust people. You fix it by starting small and building evidence. The next time someone does something kind for you, instead of immediately deflecting it or minimizing it or looking for the catch, try just receiving it. Say thank you and let yourself feel it for a moment without analyzing it. That sounds simple, but for a lot of people it's genuinely hard, and that difficulty is information. Notice what happens in your body when someone is good to you. Do you tense up? Do you want to pull away? Do you start looking for reasons not to believe it? That reaction is the pattern showing itself, and once you can see it, you have a choice about whether to follow it. And over time, those small moments of letting love in, without running, without testing, without waiting for it to turn, start to teach your nervous system something new. And here's the most important thing I want you to take from this. If you struggle to accept love, it doesn't mean you're broken or damaged or too complicated to be loved. It means you learned, in a very deep and real way, that love comes with conditions or pain or uncertainty, and your brain has been protecting you from that ever since. The part of you that pushes people away isn't the enemy. It's the part that got hurt and decided to make sure that never happened again. And what it needs isn't to be fought or suppressed. It needs to slowly learn that not everyone is the same, that safety is possible, that you are allowed to be loved without having to earn it or brace for it or wait for it to be taken away. Today we talked about why accepting love is so hard for some people, not because they don't want it, but because their brain learned to associate love with risk. And if any of this felt familiar, I want you to know that it doesn't have to stay this way. The fact that you're here, trying to understand yourself, that's already the first step. If this helped you see something differently, leave a like. It helps more people find this. And if you want to keep understanding why you think, feel, and love the way you do, subscribe, because there's a lot more coming. See you in the next one.